But let's, of course, start with this big story from the United States of America. Are American lawmakers close to officially bringing to an end the longest ever government shutdown in American history? Now, that, of course, is the big question tonight. In a few hours from now, the congressional lawmakers of the United States House of Representatives will be voting on a deal to end the longest government shutdown in American history. Now, this key development comes after 8 Democrats broke party ranks on Monday to side with the Republicans after a handshake deal on the provisions of the tabled stopgap bill. Now, the United States House of Representatives returned to Washington after a 42-day break, with the lawmakers voting on a possible compromise deal aimed at reopening the federal government. The bill will restore funding until the 30th of January 2026, putting off the next showdown but adding to the U.S. federal debt, now at a staggering $38 trillion. The deal also ensures that the food assistance program that is known as Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, will remain funded until the 30th of September 2026. But the funding is only partially used and millions of low-income Americans remain at risk.
We don't like being pawns. We don't like, and this is including myself, we don't like to be called the swamp or to be used in anyone's political games, no matter what side you're on. Because I want people to know how much the federal government impacts lives. We impact so many lives, but you just don't see it. It's like unsung heroes.
Now, the Supreme Court of the United States extended a pause on a lower court order that would have forced the Trump administration to immediately restore full funding for SNAP, affecting roughly 42 million low-income Americans. Specifically, about $4 billion of SNAP benefits remain on hold while the legal fight continues. And this pause is set to expire on Thursday, heightening pressure on the Congress to act swiftly. Now, on the economic front, the shutdown's ripple effects are hitting the aviation sector pretty hard. Now, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, has mandated flight cuts at 40 major airports following a surge in cancellations. Over 8,000 flights were cancelled in the last 4 days, on top of the 4,000 earlier in the shutdown. Growth in bookings for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday has slowed to just about 1%, down sharply from the expectations. The analysts estimate that the cuts may cost airlines around $10 million per day, and if these conditions persist until Thanksgiving, then the losses could climb to $45 million per day, excluding the lost revenue from the travelers who cancel altogether. But there is a contentious detail in the deal on the table, and it has sparked outrage amongst the Trump administration critics and the Democrat camp overall. The legislation grants 8 Republican senators whose phone records were ordered to testify in the 6th of January United States Capitol attack investigation the right to sue the U.S. Department of Justice for up to $500,000 each, plus the legal fee per violation of the newly defined rule. The Democrats are calling it a cash bonus for political allies of Donald Trump administration. Now, the longest and the second longest government shutdown have both been under Trump's presidency. The question, of course, is this: will the House vote at 7 p.m. local time in Washington and end America's longest ever government shutdown?